Did you know there's a condition where people aren't able to recognize familiar faces and sometimes even their own? What was that? It's prosopagnosia. Let me tell you about it. Prosopagnosia is the inability to recognize familiar faces and sometimes even your own.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
About 1 in 50 people are prosopagnosic. This condition can result from stroke or traumatic brain injuries. There isn't a single area of the brain that is responsible for our ability to recognize faces. Instead, there's a dynamic network of cortical areas underneath the brain which subserves this function. In the posterior part of the brain, there is the occipital face area. More to the front, in the temporal cortex, is the fusiform gyrus, where the fusiform face area is located. The anterior temporal areas are also important in face recognition. The most specific form of prosopagnosia is caused by damage to the facial recognition areas on the right side. There are 2 types of prosopagnosia: acquired and congenital, which means developmental. Acquired prosopagnosia results from occipital temporal lobe damage and is often found in adults. In congenital prosopagnosia, the individual never develops the ability to recognize faces. Until recently, it is thought that very few people experience prosopagnosia. The condition has traditionally been studied in individuals who acquired this disorder following neurological damage, typically from stroke or head injury. So far, there have been several attempts at remediation. No therapies have demonstrated lasting real-world improvements across a group of prosopagnosics. Prosopagnosics often learn to use piecemeal or feature-by-feature recognition strategies. This may involve secondary clues such as clothing, hair color, skin color, body shape, and voice. So basically, they have to use their other senses in order to recognize a familiar face. Because the face seems to function as an important defined feature in memory, and it can also be difficult for people with this condition to keep track of information about people and socialize normally with others, which keeps them very isolated and distant from people.